to start us off. We've got South Carolina and Georgia in the SEC final next. And tonight in prime time from Vegas, the Pac-12 final with Stanford and UCLA.
Well, NC State's going to have to take care of the basketball against the Louisville changing defense. A high-risk, high-reward defensive effort by Louisville. And for the Cardinals, they're going to have to make shots, because they're going to have to be able to score with a high-powered offensive attack that NC State brings.
White jerseys for Louisville. They have 2 freshmen in the starting lineup today. Kiana Smith backs it out. Mikasa Robinson, and here is one of those rookies, Haley Van Lith. Robinson mid-range and gets it to go. If she's knocking those down for Louisville, that's a good sign. She's their defensive specialist.
Yeah, she would be the 5th option offensively, but she is the glue player. She does all the detail work for Jeff Walls, especially on the defensive end, and she'll have the Kayla Jones matchup to start.
Reyna Perez is the grad transfer point guard. She was the difference in the 4th quarter in the regular season meeting for NC State. And we'll keep our eye on Kai Crutchfield as well. She has been the lockdown defender for the Wolfpack as Kiana Smith hits the bucket. So and Louisville off to the 5-0 start.
Maybe Wes Moore is seeing if his 5th option is hot, carrying over from the 4th quarter against Georgia Tech. But that time, Kai Crutchfield did not get back and match up in transition. So you make a mistake like that, these 2 teams are so equipped to score offensively, and you can't have back-to-back mistakes in a championship game.
Good depth for Louisville. They played full court press pretty much the entire game yesterday in the semifinal win as they topped Syracuse.
Both these teams are excellent at guarding the ball, and there's a miscommunication on a switch and a turnover. Cunane's got to shoot that.
Robinson aggressive to the rim, can't finish. Rebound to Crutchfield. Looked like it caught Elissa off guard that the smaller defender was coming over on her. She'll try to wrap it around the backside and does.
I mean, that's 6'5", incredibly gifted inside, can score left or right, also has 3-point range for NC State. Elissa Cunane inside.
All-America candidate in the middle for the Wolfpack. Smith. And Elissa has the rebound. Here is Reyna Perez. Outstanding in the Big West at Cal State Fullerton before arriving this year to replace Ace Koenig. Over the top, and it's good for Kayla Jones, the senior out of Jamesville, North Carolina.
Really great set by NC State. They know Louisville's an up-the-line, overplaying team. It's a terrific time to go backdoor.
Here's the other freshman in the lineup, and oh, Olivia Cochran showing off the skills.
All right, if this is all about offense today, you know I am perfectly fine with that.
2 high-scoring teams getting us going today on our championship Sunday around women's basketball.
Louisville likes to switch 1 through 4.
Crutchfield off the bounce. Van Lith has it. Haley had 24 points in their quarterfinal win a couple of days ago. Here she is with it, top 10 prospect out of high school, and airs that one out. Still trying to adjust to the energy of a championship game.
Well, it's a new environment. It's a shot pressure environment. As good as these 2 teams are offensively, can you make enough shots under duress? And we expect a few nerves early.
Jakia Brown-Turner,
who came to the title game last year and played well to help NC State win their first title in 29 years. And Cunane in the one-on-one is too tough to deal with when she gets 2 feet in the paint.
Smith circles it back outside.
Keep your eye on Kai Crutchfield in this Dana Evans matchup, Beth. This is one to keep your eye on because Crutchfield has got to keep her in front.
Evans gives it up to Robinson, and after making a shot, she's missed a couple and will commit the foul.
So part of the reason why Wes Moore has Kayla Jones defending Mikasa Robinson is because Kayla Jones is his best weak side helper. And Mikasa Robinson is not a threat to score on most nights. Now, she has to hit the mid-range 10-foot jump shot if she's given that. And NC State might give her that. But you make sure you box her out because she goes to the glass every time.
Crutchfield. Brown Turner, she is looking for an explosion, has been quiet offensively through the first 2 games of the tournament, and that will go over to Louisville. And let's see if the Cards get something going here for Dana Evans. She was the last starter to score in the semifinals yesterday. Subpar performance in the quarters 2 days ago. And she too looking for a breakout day.
So to your point, Jeff Walls gets her off the ball for this set, puts her over to the wing so he can get her to her right hand. What a great call from the bench. Dana Evans hard off the bounce going right. Almost impossible to defend because she also, besides getting to the rim, can pull up and hit the mid-range, or she can kick to the corner. And NC State can't help off that corner shooter. That's Kiana Smith.
Dana Evans, 81 of 87 at the free throw line, 93% on the year, and that's her second miss of the tournament.
What? What is going on? She never misses from the free throw line.
3-point Louisville lead. About halfway through this first quarter, ACC championship game.
Mouse in the house.
Got a smaller defender on her, and JBT gives it up. Cunane bothered on the shot. Elizabeth Dixon. They've got a couple of big bodies now, Louisville, that they can throw at Cunane inside.
Well, Louisville's defense has to be disruptive. If you let NC State go pass, cut in rhythm, forget about it. They have too much offense. But if you make them put it on the deck and dribble into their shots, you have a better chance of defending.
Van Lith missed the open look weak side. Cunane trying to back in on Dixon. Gets the touch. Good passer out of the post. Perez for 3. Got it.
Boy, Reina Perez's first big game experience was on the road at Louisville. Louisville was #1 in the country, and she delivered. She handled the ball. She made shots. She's going to have to do that today.
They made that a tough look for Evans, did State. Now Kayla Jones trying to post up on the smaller defender, and she's going to get whistled for the offensive foul as Robinson hit the deck. 4 minutes to go in the first entertaining ACC final. I'll leave it at 9 apiece. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball.
But her defense was stifling on Georgia Tech's leading scorer. She is the reason that they got to this championship moment. Look at those numbers. 8 points in the fourth quarter. Beth, I stole that from you. Are you okay if I called her Clutchfield?
I'm fine with that. I just wanted to show up in their notes for the NCAA tournament, right,
There
Debbie?
That's right.
Kai made the plays on Lodemai Lautinen, and the jumper is good. That's a 3-pointer for Elizabeth Balagoon. So as Holly talked about, Debbie, they need the others to help out Evans today.
Yep, everyone else has to do their job exceptionally well. One more stop, one more made basket, one more detail on the offensive end.
Kayla Jones off the mark. Here comes Dana Evans, the ACC 2-time Player of the Year, 4 years in a row for a Louisville player, and 5 of the last 6 years.
Dana's the winningest player in Louisville's history. She has 4 ACC regular season titles, 1 ACC tournament title. She's been to the Final Four as a freshman. She's been an All-American. She's back-to-back ACC Player of the Year. It's an impressive resume when you look at where she came from in Gary, Indiana, and how hard she's worked to get to this point.
It's what I call the Evans-Lucian of Dana.
Yes, it is.
Off the bench to constantly better. Out of the shadows of Asia Durr, the previous 2-time ACC Player of the Year. And got to be in the conversation for National Player of the Year honors with just a handful of folks.
No, I don't think there's any question she's in the conversation for that, as well as a potentially #1 or top 3 draft pick for sure in the WNBA draft.
You're going to get a look at Aaliyah Boston of South Carolina coming up next. Stanford, they've been so balanced, I don't know if you could pick one. Of course, Erin McDonald was the player of the year out west for Arizona.
Yeah, Stanford is very good, very balanced, very hard to defend, and the best defensive team Tara Vanderveer's had in a long time.
Cunane scores inside. Of course, there are also the two Fab Frosch and Paige Beckers at UConn, Caitlin Clark at Iowa. And I'm going to throw actually Owusu in there, who's been outstanding at Maryland. They, along with Baylor, perhaps two of the hottest teams in the country right now.
Big Ten Player of the Year will be really interesting. Caitlin Clark at Iowa, Ashley Owusu at Maryland, Naz Hillman, Michigan.
Here is Jada Boyd off of the NC State bench, lost her footing and then lost the ball.
So a post-to-post double by Jeff Walls to disrupt the quickness of Jada Boyd off the bounce. Watch this right here. She's going to catch it on the block. Good post-up position. We'll watch where Elizabeth Dixon comes from the top. So NC State on the weak side is standing around. You got to move. You got to cut. You got to play off that double.
Alana Smith with the spin and got it up and over Cunane. She had 11 in the semis and is starting out well here today for Louisville.
See, without Raina Perez on the floor right now, Kai Crutchfield handling some point guard responsibility, or lead guard, if you will. I wouldn't necessarily call her a point guard.
Fouls on Elizabeth Dixon, her second. Don't forget, on Monday, March 15th, I'm sure you've already got it on the calendar, that's the NCAA Women's Selection Special presented by Capital One. 7 Eastern on ESPN, the reveal of the 64-team field. Bonus hour of coverage afterwards on ESPNU. It will be an S curve from 1 to 64 as Brown Turner scores on the left side. And the entire tournament will be played in and around San Antonio with the Final Four, along with the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16, all at the Alamo Dome.
2 new format changes for this year because of COVID that are going to add a lot of excitement to the women's game.
Cochran, nice step back, short. Just like the men, too, there will be a couple of teams on hold, on standby, just in case there is a COVID issue that may open up an opportunity for one of those teams that initially finishes outside the bracket. There could be a replacement as the Wolfpack get the takeaway and the bucket for Jada Boyd.
Well, they get a big break right there, but that was a terrific skip pass over the top of the defense by Cunane to give Crutchfield a chance to attack that closeout. That's better activity on the weak side by NC State.
Let's see, do the Wolfpack run a double at Evans here to close out the quarter? Or will Dana get an opportunity? Has to give it up and gives it away, and not a good look at all for the top-seeded Cardinals. Do not get a shot, but they will take the lead into the second quarter, Debbie.
The Cardinals, a 1-point lead going into the second. Cunane with the reverse. Smith in transition.
Holly Rowe live and in person for some college hoops. This is one of the stories so far in the tournament. The ACC's Player of the Year has been held in check. The good news for Louisville is the others have helped her out, and they have the 1-point lead as we head into the second quarter.
I mean, Louisville has always had good balance this year, and now they've gotten better depth as the season has gone on, and it's exactly what you would want as a coach. And Narika Kono came off the bench yesterday and was a huge surprise. 23 bench points for Louisville in the semifinals.
And the Wolfpack turn it over.
Good change defensively by Jeff Walls, which made NC State hesitate, causing the turnover.
Jeff has the Cardinals in the ACC final for the 3rd time in 4 years. They won it in 2018, runners-up in 2019. They got bumped early last year. They come in as the 4-time reigning regular season champs in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Olivia Cochran trying to back in on Cunane, and Elissa's got it.
Yeah, Cunane knows they're going to attack her on the defensive end, and she stays vertical and holds her ground.
Cunane directing some traffic. They are the defending ACC tournament champs. They won it last year for the first time since 1991 in the K-Yow era. Reina Perez with the raindrop.
There's a lot of great graduate transfers around the women's landscape, but I'm telling you right now, she's underrated. She has changed everything about NC State's outlook for the season. Yeah, we're a top 10 team. She's helped make them a Final Four potential team.
Best assist-to-turnover ratio in the league, and Noriko Kono confident after a double-digit scoring effort in the semis with her first bucket today.
So, Beth, I'm a big believer that you can never affect the rhythm of the game if you don't have multiple defensive looks. And we've already seen Jeff Walz change the rhythm for his team with several different defensive stances.
What you got for us, Holly?
Well, you saw Noriko Kono really get into a rhythm there with that shot. She had 10 points yesterday in just 11 minutes of play. She's from Japan. Jeff Walz flew over 20 hours to go and meet with her and her family in Tokyo. They met, they all took trains, met together in Tokyo, and then they all departed, and Jeff flew from Tokyo back to Ottawa on another recruiting visit. He said, somebody sent me some videotape on her. We liked what we saw, and she has literally come a long way. She has suffered some real homesickness, though. She hasn't been able to go home to see her family because of the pandemic, and she's really playing great for Louisville.
The dedication of the coaches on the recruiting trail.
You go end to end all over the world to find the right mixture of skill set and character to continue to build your culture.
And it's going to change even more in the coming years, right? With the transfer portal as active as it is now around college athletics. So
I mean, forget about it.
A lot going on.
Forget about it,
Beth.
A
lot of movement.
It's free agency, and everyone wants to take their talents to South Beach.
Cunane, the skip. Boyd got a little too deep and then spent too much time in the lane.
So Jeff Walz has had a terrific game plan for Jada Boyd because she is by far the most explosive player for NC State. They brought a double, they've played zone when she's in there, they've mixed up their coverages on her, and the last 3 times she's touched the ball, she has hesitated. It's exactly what you want her to do.
Winningest coach in Louisville history. He knows all about Jada Boyd. She dropped 16 on the Ville in their regular season matchup. A win for NC State. The first team ever to beat 2 top-ranked foes on the road. And they will score inside, and there's Boyd over Kono.
Maybe that'll give her some confidence because that is a terrific high-low feed in their transition game. Not their primary break, their secondary option.
Evans can't knock it down. Louisville now 1 for 5 in this second quarter, and the turnover a little sloppy for the Pack.
Let me say this about Jeff Walz and Wes Moore, Beth, because they both are incredibly analytical coaches. Okay, they're all about game planning and their analytics, but they have great instinct and feel for the game. And you can see the adjustments that both of them have made so far in the game. They know each other so well.
Smith able to knock it down. She's got 9 to lead all scorers. And it's Louisville back on top. Boyd off the ball fake. Cochran's got it.
Good switch to his own.
Haley Van Lith back on the floor here for Louisville. Smith. Cunane and Cochran, that's a terrific battle inside.
And NC State on the defensive end is doing a much better job guarding the ball. I thought Georgia Tech's team was very aggressive. Nell Fortner did a terrific job bringing her team here ready to play. If Louisville becomes a jump shooting team, that is to NC State's advantage.
Crutchfield got it. Assisted Cunane.
Elissa Cunane is a willing passer. She sees the floor so well for 6'5" with her back to the basket. She's done a much better job reading where the double comes from.
How about 3 assists today, Debbie, already for the big girl?
You gotta love the ball movement right here. Good duck in and timing. She sees Haley Van Lith dig. Too late to recover, and NC State, as good as they are feeding the post, they are really good at relocating on the perimeter after they make the feed.
They've been doing the job defensively. Van Lith and Evans held to just 2 points so far in this first half. A 2-point State lead.
2-3 zone.
Offensive foul on Cunane. Trying to displace the defender. Half at a 2-point NC State lead as they try and go back-to-back with ACC tournament crowns. A lot on the line for NC State with a really good resume. They need some help probably in the SEC championship game coming up next. But if Georgia can knock off South Carolina and NC State wins today, Charlie Cream in his latest bracketology says State moves up to the top line as a #1. Along with UConn, Stanford, and Texas A&M. And a foul on the shot and a patient whistle right there. It's going to go against Parker.
Oh, Romani Parker, who took the 3 the last possession coming off the ATO, was her first 3-point attempt of the season. I don't know if that's a secret weapon Jeff Walz has been building on the side that we weren't aware of, but she's gotten a lot of playing time here in the postseason. She's not a player that he has used in the regular season a lot.
Big day of college hoops for you. Champ Week rolls on today. We got 2 more women's title games for you on ESPN2. The SEC final coming up next. Surprise Georgia against South Carolina, and then Stanford UCLA tonight in prime time. And on the men's side this afternoon, regular season finale, Texas Tech and Baylor. Big time NCAA tournament implications on the men's side. That's at 4 o'clock on ESPN. Struggles in this second quarter for the Louisville offense. They're just 2 of 8.
They've played a lot of this second quarter without Dana Evans on the floor.
Haley Van Lith knocks it down, and that's her first bucket.
One of the top freshmen in the country coming into play this season.
Perez throws it away into traffic. Smith, patient, hesitates, takes it to the rim, and misses the gimme. State comes out with a Jones. Brown Turner on the run. Crutchfield spotting up short. And a reach-in foul going to be called against State. It's on Camille Hobby.
Shot selection, so important for both teams right now.
Dana Evans returns to the floor. Points below her average, and her field goal percentage under 30% through the first 2.5 games of this tournament. 1 for 5 to start today. She does not get a look there, but Haley Van Lith does, and is fired up after back-to-back makes.
That pass-through cut or that ghost screen that Jeff Walz likes to run in the middle third of the floor, very effective, because if you don't communicate defensively, you allow that open shot.
Got the last 5 points for Louisville, and they're back on top. Jones spins into the double team and is the last to touch it out of bounds.
The NC State looks flat-footed. They don't look like they're connected. This is a dip in their emotion in the game. Now, their emotion is going to go back up as the game comes towards a close, but right now they look like they better pick it up a little bit because Louisville's got the momentum. And you better guard Haley Van Lith. She's hit the last 2 buckets. Jeff Walz doesn't overcoach it. If you got a hot hand or somebody scores, they go right back to him.
Good anticipation by Kayla Jones. Perez. Weak side of Crutchfield. They'll get another look from deep. And out of sorts now for NC State.
You know, without Cunane on the floor, they don't have that similar low post game. Like, they can play to and through her because she's such a good facilitator. You already mentioned she has 3 assists in the game. And Wes Moore is using his minutes with Cunane around a 1-possession game to kind of save her for the second half.
Trying to ice Kono and keep her on that side of the floor. Boy, the Pack have picked it up defensively, getting in people's grills. Evans with contact, offensive foul. That's her first. And look who it is, taking it on the chin, Crutchfield.
You referee the defense here. Does Crutchfield beat her to the spot? And does Dana Evans lean in? I'm not sure.
No, it didn't look like it there on the replay, did it?
No, but we get the benefit of a second look.
Under a minute and a half to go here in the second ACC championship game. State in a bit of a funk. They've missed their last 4 tries. They've been hurt by 8 turnovers here in the first half.
They like to run 4 out, 1 in, but with the lineup and personnel they have on the floor, Boyd and Hobby both end up on the block, which affects the spacing that NC State likes to play with. It makes it easier for Louisville to defend them.
Kono's pass to no one in particular, and it's nothing but black jerseys around it. In the trail, good for Boyd.
That's a great look by Jakia Brown-Turner. She set up that 15-footer for Jada Boyd because she looked in the post first, ball faked in there, and that made the defense seek the level of the ball. That's how you open up the top of the floor.
State by 1, Cards perhaps with the final chance to grab the lead back. Evans pass picked off. And out of bounds. It'll stay with Louisville, 6 seconds left.
So the last time Louisville had the last possession of the first quarter, they turned it over. They went to their horn set. They're going to have a sideline out of bounds here.
Debbie, would you like to see Evans go one-on-one here? Keep the ball in her hands.
1-4 low, clear it out, let her go.
Yeah. Here she is. ACC Player of the Year, and she gives it back to Van Lith.
Well, he prefers Van Lith to take this shot.
Does not get it up. Bad clock management at the end of the first and second quarters for Louisville. Missed chances. And as a result, it's NC State, I believe, with perhaps a second left. It ended up being a shot clock violation.
Catch and shoot.
One-point game at the break. The top 2 seeds in the Atlantic Coast Conference still in the hunt for chance to go to Chapel Hill, right? Is that accurate?
No, she wanted me badly.
Beth Mullins and Wolfpack alum Debbie Antonelli, Holly Rowe with you. We've got 20 minutes to play for an ACC championship. The first of our triple header today. SEC final coming up next, and then prime time tonight. The Red Hot Stanford Cardinal and the UCLA Bruins for a 3rd time. They split their regular season matchups.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching Stanford play. That's must-see TV. Anytime Tara Vanderveer's team, especially this year, because they can score and they can defend. That is a tough task for Corey Close's group. But I'm telling you, Charisma Osborne, underrated in the Pac-12 as a guard, and underrated on the national scene as well. He's had a great year.
Quiet in one of the regular season matchups, starred in the other for the Bruins as they try and win the Pac-12 for the 2nd time. Stanford, the regular season champs out there. Of course, a lot at stake in the SEC final. Georgia moving up in the minds of the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee. And for South Carolina, it's a foul here on Cunane, her 2nd. For South Carolina, after they lost the regular season finale to Texas A&M, a chance now to probably lock down a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament if they win coming up next. Dawn Staley, Joni Taylor,
Hey, Beth, listen, Elissa Cunane needs to get as many touches as she can right now in the second half. But so does Aaliyah Boston in that Georgia matchup. She should take the most shots for South Carolina today.
They only had the one free throw attempt in the first half, did Louisville. And they will grab the lead back thanks to Olivia Cochran. Lana Smith led them with 9 points in the first half. Balanced attack for the Pack through the first 20 minutes. Here is a catch for Cunane. And a move to the rim for 2.
Good post-to-post screen inside by Kayla Jones, who's been quiet offensively, but has done a really nice job with the detail work.
Van Lith off the crossover.
That's not the shot, Beth. That's not what Jeff needs. Jeff Walz wants his team to move the ball, and when you don't take shots in the offense, then you cannot get back in transition in time to match up. And Jakia Brown-Turner takes advantage.
Got to the left side for a 3-point lead.
Raina Perez really jumping out, trying to keep that ball on one side of the floor.
Here is Dana Evans. Good help from her teammates in the first half. Let's see if she takes on a heavier load here in the second. Misses her first shot opportunity. And a little bit of frustration from Dana. She's 1 for 6 today.
So this is a real character building opportunity for Dana Evans, because she has struggled in this tournament shooting the ball. But there was a point in the quarterfinals where she decided that she was going to make plays for others, and she did that, and her team won. And this might be a time right here to help get herself going by moving the ball.
Cunane immediately doubled, and a reach-in foul will be called on Kiana Smith.
Now this is a tough 2 right here by Evans. This is a contested drive to the paint in a crowd, off balance. Not a good look. This is the ACC's leading scorer, better than 20 points a game. Nobody on the men's side in the ACC scored 20 points a game this year.
Off the backboard and in for Brown-Turner, and she's hit a couple in a row. And the biggest lead of the day for NC State. Here comes Evans up to the top. Smith elects to go to the left instead. Evans defended by Crutchfield. Almost turned it over, knocked out by Perez.
Well, guys, Jakia Brown-Turner having a terrific game so far today, and I have to give her some real props. Everybody out there for NC State looks amazing, and that's because she does almost everyone's hair on the team. She specializes in sew-ins. She's a terrific cosmetologist, and she is a teammate doing it all for her team right now.
Can also light up that scoreboard, Holly Rowe. A couple of buckets for her and an NC State lead. Well said by Dawn Staley after the semifinals yesterday. A couple of African-American females leading the way for Georgia and South Carolina in our SEC championship game coming up next. And since it's Women's History Month, let's continue with the all-time winningest coach, Stanford's Tara Vanderveer, as well as Corey Close at UCLA coming up later tonight. Of course, there is always room for the fellas as well, and we've got 2 of the best here. Wes Moore on that NC State sideline, Jeff Walz for Louisville. The winner gets the ACC championship, and for NC State, perhaps still a crack at a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, although Debbie, it may not be as significant this year since there's no home court advantage to worry about.
Well, and we have the true S-curve.
Yes.
So if the committee gets it right, which we assume they will, then it should be really compelling, because the S-curve matches up seeding 1 through 64. So 1 plays 64, 2, 63, etc. And this is the first trip to the free throw line for Cunane. So Louisville's done a very good job of keeping her off the line. Maybe NC State hasn't done a good enough job of getting her to the line.
8-0 run for NC State, and it ends right there. Kiana Smith, perhaps in that last timeout, Jeff Walz lit a little fire under his stagnant offense.
Well, I think, again, picking up full court can change the rhythm of your team. And playing better defense, changing your defense, can get your team going offensively. And see,
Perez got a little too handsy there. Sorry, Debbie.
No, Beth Perez doing the right thing. When they jump out on that hedge, you attack the outside hip of the big. It's what you drill and practice every day to have good offensive habits in that ball screen offense.
No significant foul issues for either side thus far. Turner gets it into Cunane, immediately faces up and gets stripped from behind. Smith running with Evans. Dana leaks out behind the line, finds a driving lane and the window.
In transition off their defense, Evans shakes free. It's a great dig by Kiana Smith from the backside.
And Dana's first bucket in 20 minutes of clock time as Cunane counters with the basket. Neither one of the superstars scored in that second quarter. Trying to heat things up here in the third. Crutchfield got caught in the screen. Evans with a little space, missed it.
Boy, she's made that shot a million times. 2 hard dribbles to the elbow.
Cunane. Hard.
See, Cochran's not letting Cunane catch it with 2 feet in the paint.
Smith has a shot, and that won't fall. Brown Turner will push. Somebody looking for an easy bucket here either way.
Well, Cunane can shoot that trail 3.
Cunane on Dixon. This is a couple in a row on the block. Cochran, Dixon mid-range, good.
Nice work inside, good interior passing. We haven't had a whistle in a while. Little fatigue setting in, maybe.
Third day in a row for these two teams. The top 2 seeds in the ACC tournament championship game. Brown Turner. Cunane, offensive rebound. Misses a 3rd straight. Evans.
Now, the degree of difficulty on some of the shots Dana has taken have been probably not the best choices.
2 for 9. Kayla Jones going to work. Another missed layup for NC State.
So they're getting the ball where they want to. They're not finishing the plays. That's 3 basket opportunities at the rim.
And they've missed 5 chip shots now in a row and missed an opportunity to bust this thing open a bit. Van Lith to the left side, no. Got her own miss, heaves it back to Evans. Dana into the lane. That one was bothered by Cunane. Cochran, multiple opportunities for the Cards.
Cochran using that strong lower body to clear out some room. Big rebound inside.
Jakia's pass errant into the first row. 1-point game, 3 minutes to go in the third.
This is how you rebound in traffic. Cunane affects the shot. Watch Cochran clear out a little room inside.
The regular season coming up this week with a couple of other, the Big 10, the Big 12 will get underway midweek. NC State looking to repeat, and Louisville looking for its 2nd championship since they joined the ACC a handful of years ago. They won it all in 2018.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to win 1, but I don't remember the 1 we won. I remember the 2 we lost.
Oh, no. Dixon got it to go. I mean, it's been around for 44 years. It's the longest running tournament in women's basketball history, Debbie, and certainly a special moment for the team that's out there on the floor when the balloons descend from the rafters.
A coveted crown. is the ACC championship.
Incredible performers in this league over the course of its history. There are the balloons ready to fall. How about this for multiple MVP winners in ACC history? Pam Leake, Dawn Staley, Wendy Palmer, Tracy Reed, Georgia Schweitzer, Asia Durr, Dana Evans, and Alana Beard and Alyssa Thomas, 3-time regular season MVPs in ACC history. Some of the all-time greats as Camille Hobby turns and hits.
Let's see if Camille Hobby and Jada Boyd can get something mixed together on the inside. A different look on the front line for Westmore right now.
11th lead change. Neither side's been up by more than 7 points today, and now Dana Evans is 2 for 11. And the cold shooting here in Greensboro continues for the ACC's Player of the Year. Of course, reminder, she has been as clutch as anyone in the country in the final 5 minutes of ball games.
See, that's
her time is still to come.
A huge mistake by NC State. You dribble into the switch, and Jakia Brown-Turner has a big on her and dribbles right back to let them switch and trap her. Switch back is what I meant.
Dixon got muscled out of the paint. And a nice drive to the rim. Dana Evans lays it in on the left side. Louisville back in front.
That's the explosiveness of Evans right there on display. Off the bounce, going left with her offhand.
Hobby thinks she's got the advantage. Tough shot, good defense by Dixon. Here comes Evans, 3-on-2. Smith running the floor, and one for Louisville.
Two huge transition opportunities off of NC State's back-to-back mistakes. Beth, remember in the first half I talked about you cannot have back-to-back mistakes in a championship game, and this is why. You give the other team momentum, 2 runouts, 2 layups for Louisville, and now they've taken the lead with the momentum.
Cards have hit 4 of their last 5 shots, while NC State has missed 6 of its last 7. And the Ville will have another chance here. Jeff Walls signaling the play from the sideline.
He's sensing Dana needs a shot.
And Dana gets a shot.
That's why he goes to Horns, 2 bigs on the elbow, and let her attack off the bounce. Now you're seeing the confident ACC Player of the Year back-to-back show up in a big moment. She's changing the game right now, Beth.
12-2 run over the last 4 minutes for Louisville. Final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Brown-Turner, the kick out. Perez fouled with 2 seconds to go by Evans. That'll be the 2nd on Dana. Neither side in the bonus. Oh, check that. That will be the 5th on the cards. Freebies for Perez.
Well, this is an important play right here for Perez, because with 2.7, a poor decision there by Louisville to foul. Give NC State a chance in that 12-2 run to get something back going positive going to the break of the quarter.
After a 2-point first half, Evans with 6 in just the last couple of minutes, helping turn things around for the Cards.
Not sure what that was about, but this equivalent of icing the shooter potentially.
Only the 10th combined free throw of the game for these two. It's good from Perez. 3-point game. Evans comes up short. 43-40, the top seed in front, heading to the 4th quarter of the ACC championship game. They ended on a 12-4 run, Debbie.
It's a feel And a call from the bench. Horns off the bounce. Evans.
Here, Debbie.
Yeah, Dana Evans doesn't finish this play. And Florida State goes on to advance to the championship game. And since then, Dana remembers. And she used it as motivation through the year because that was the last time they suited up last year because of the pandemic. And this year, she has been a closer. That has become who she is at the end of the games. And now you can see she's starting to get hot, and she knows this is her team. She told Holly yesterday, it's my team, my responsibility. She's the only senior, and she's the winningest player in their history. If they're going to win, it's going to be because Dana Evans is going to make plays right now.
Holly? And that's right, guys. I know we've been talking about what she hasn't done because she has struggled here at this tournament, but think about this. She has started every single game this season, despite going through COVID, playing almost 33 minutes a game. She has been the heartbeat of this team all year. And even when she struggled, she's doing a lot of other things, defending well and trying to be that voice down the stretch.
Winningest player in Louisville history. Not Asia Durr, not Angel McCaughtry, not any of the other greats they've had. It's her run in recent years, and she'd love to cap off this last regular season with a championship. Here she is, ball in hand.
Good help.
Kono got to the rim.
I mean, maybe got away with a travel.
Cunane, well rested, turns it over. She didn't play those last couple of minutes of that third quarter. Evans in the trail for three. Got it! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The top seed doing the talking now. A 17-4 run. And their biggest lead of the day. Kai Crutchfield, good.
The one thing NC State has had in the fourth quarter all season long is offensive maturity. They have a veteran seasoned club. You're not going to see them get rattled offensively. They have to stick to their good offensive habits right now and be really good in the detail. Because, Beth, we talked about game slippage yesterday. That's about detail when the game's on the line and making shots under duress.
NC State with numbers if they hustle. And Boyd fouled by Parker.
Game slippage is something you anticipate can happen when the most important moments of the game happen. That's about making sure your screening angles are good. You run the floor hard and wide. You make sure you go to the glass. You box out and you close out.
And who wants the ball late? Who wants to be making the big decisions to decide it? Holly Rowe's been reporting throughout the tournament. A player like Elissa Cunane grew up watching this tournament as a youngster. Always dreamed of being here. Cut down the nets last year, did NC State. They need a fourth quarter comeback to do it again. Cunane immediately doubled, kicks out to Perez. Out of bounds to Louisville.
Kayla Jones quiet, 1 for 4 for NC State. She does have 7 rebounds.
Smith to the right side, no. Big play by Cochran to get him another look. Cochran again, and a foul inside. Olivia going toe-to-toe with Elissa.
Watch the battle on the weak side for the rebound.
How about the 1-2 from the freshman and the third foul on Cunane? Evans short after the bump. NC State wanted an offensive foul.
So there was a moment in the game yesterday for NC State against Georgia Tech where Georgia Tech clearly was the tougher team. NC State's got to get tougher right now.
Cunane fouled.
You got to get tougher. You got to play through some things that don't go your way. And getting the ball on the block to Elissa Cunane is a good idea. Nobody feeds the post better than NC State.
That is the 4th personal foul now on Liz Dixon. First one in trouble here. Just under 7 to play. Most teams ending their season, regular season today. There are a few more that will continue on next week. And of course, it all leads to Selection Monday, March 15th at 8 Eastern. And then right after the selection show, sign up for the Women's Tournament Challenge on ESPN.com. Fill out your bracket, see how you match up against the experts. Entire tournament will head to Texas with the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final 4 all in San Antonio.
Jeff Walls has played 10 players. Mikasa Robinson checks in, Beth. Running the point right now. Smaller lineup on the floor for Louisville.
Yeah, they're going with 4 guards. Van Lith tries to relocate. Perez on her defensively. On that left hand, nice feed to Robinson.
What a great cut. She's the glue, Mikasa Robinson.
A nice find by Van Lith.
Cunane really fighting and battling inside with Cochran for position.
A touch for Cunane off glass. 15 now for Elissa.
Just the way a championship game should be.
Cochran now trying to post up, faces up. Working on the All-American. Good for Cochran.
Big girl's going to work right now.
.7 boards for the freshman. Back to Cunane. Immediately doubled. Perez will try and open things up with the 3. No. Boyd swooping in for the stick back.
Jada Boyd doing her thing. That's what she does well for NC State. Explosive around the offensive boards.
Evans got it. Making plays at both ends. Under 5 minutes to go for the ACC championship.
Dana Evans is 4 for her last 7.
Throw the double at Perez. Reina handles it. Now Cunane, space.
You let her get to that left shoulder and that half hook. So skilled at 6'5". NC State 4 out, 1 in. That's what they do. They're doing a good job of spacing the floor around Cunane.
Evans running the baseline to receive. 2-man game with Cochran. Evans keeping the dribble alive. Tried to thread the needle and it's picked off. Crutchfield, 1-on-3, will take it herself. In and out. Second chance, third chance. Kayla Jones.
Couple of big offensive rebounds for NC State. Look at Jeff Walls is going, calm down, let's execute. Flare screen for Smith.
Chance here for NC State to take the lead. Boyd.
Oh, she walked. I mean, Jada Boyd doesn't typically put it on the floor from that far away from the basket. You got to go to what's working.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. second half. Both sides shooting 50% here in the fourth quarter. A 1-point Louisville lead for the ACC championship. 3:23 to go. Can Dana Evans secure her second ACC crown? Can Elissa Cunane go back-to-back with NC State? And for the Wolfpack, can they win this and then root for Georgia to beat South Carolina in the SEC final and perhaps grab a 1 seed for the NCAA tournament? Gamecocks and Dogs coming up next. And then Stanford, UCLA in primetime tonight in the Pac-12 championship. Beth Mowens, Debbie Antonelli, Holly Rowe with you. There's Mikasa Robinson off the mark.
Good D by the Wolfpack coming out of that ATO. You got to guard the ball, Beth.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Perez working with Cunane. Elissa's got the mismatch. Instead, Jones will fire from deep. Good box out, but perhaps too good from Louisville and a foul.
How about the confidence of Kayla Jones, the senior? Has not hit a lot of shots today, but has 10 rebounds to go with her 4 points. I've said all season she's the best hybrid 4 in the country. A hybrid 4 not only shoots the 3, but can make decisions on the top of the floor and play in that ball screen offense and motion offense that Westmore likes to play. I don't think there's anybody else like her in the country.
Timeouts available for both coaches. Fouls to give for both sides. 1 left to give for Louisville. Possession arrow is with the Cards. Boyd calling for it. From a tough angle, Cunane, second chance and a foul on Cochran.
Boyd's got Mouse in the house and tries to counter. When you catch it that deep, you got to explode and score over a smaller defender, and Cunane bails them out with another offensive rebound here in the fourth quarter.
Third foul on Cochran, 4 on Dixon for the 2 big girls trying to defend Cunane. Elissa now with 18 points, 8 rebounds. Well balanced on both sides today. Gets a pair there for our 13th lead change of the afternoon, and it's State by 1. We're under the 5-minute mark. Well, that usually means it's Dana Evans time for the Ville. Number 1 in white. Evans can go either way with it.
Yeah, that horn set has been dangerous for NC State with Evans with the ball.
Waving to the bucket.
That's why.
15 for Dana. Louisville back on top. Under 2 minutes to go. Cunane with position. Kick out, Perez 3. Kono with a great box out, and that allows Van Lith to go get it.
That's the detail I'm talking about, Beth. That's where you know you've got good habits. When the game's on the line, you can make those plays. That detail.
Ball in the lead for the Cardinals. Here we go again with Dana.
I don't know if there's another player in the country who has confidence at this point in the game more than Dana Evans.
Well, Cochran couldn't handle it, and it goes back to State. And another look at a lead. 1 minute to go.
1 minute remaining.
Oh, great up screen. Cunane left side fouled. That's the 4th on Cochran.
Good set by Westmore, and he saves it for inside a minute. We have not seen that up screen for Cunane all game. Watch the screen come from Crutchfield, and they're actually late delivering the basketball. Cunane was open, and because they were late getting it to her, Cochran was late getting there, and creates the foul, and Cunane at the line where she has been good all year.
5 of 6 today. Ties it. Misses the second. Crutchfield on Evans.
NC State only 1 team foul.
Dana, no good. Rebound, Cunane. Shot clock is off for NC State.
Westmore doesn't need to burn a timeout either. You don't want Louisville to change their defense.
Perez will keep it and take it and hit it with 2.1 to go. Timeout Louisville to advance to midcourt. And it's the newcomer, the grad transfer. After Cunane was covered, she held it and hit it.
I love this strategy. No timeout. You look inside. I talked about offensive maturity. NC State doesn't need to call timeout to set up a play. You don't want Louisville to change their defense. You want to try to score as quickly as you can, or as little time on the clock. And NC State's got fouls to give here, so keep an eye on that. They only have 1 team foul with 2.1 on the clock.
We talked earlier about Dana Evans and her chance last year and the miss late. Will she get another opportunity, or will NC State be able to eat away at this clock with their fouls to give?
If you make them catch the ball away from the basket, and if you can put it on the floor and foul, if I'm Jeff Walls, I'm trying to make a direct pass into the scoring area so NC State can't foul.
2 to tie. Van Lith, pass broken up, out of bounds. It will stay with Louisville. 1 second to go. Timeout Cardinals.
I love the play call. What a great defensive stance by NC State.
One second to go for the ACC championship. And what a way to start our championship Sunday. SEC final is coming up next. Pac-12 championship later tonight. Next weekend, we got Big 10 and Big 12. And on to the NCAA tournament.
You got time to catch and shoot. You might even have time to put it on the floor real quickly. But with the ball being inbounded on the baseline, NC State cannot afford to foul here. You switch on everything. You don't let anybody cut freely to the ball, Beth, but you do have fouls to give if you need to foul, but you don't foul somebody in the act of shooting. I don't think you foul her, you just play good D.
Inbound to Evans. Good if it goes. And it comes up short. NC State back-to-back ACC tournament champions. Last year they won it with MVP point guard Ace Koenig. Her grad student replacement wins it for the Pac this year in the waning seconds. 58-56, State over Louisville. And still alive with a crack at a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Don't forget, for more coverage, you can head over to ACC Network postgame, and we'll have more from Greensboro Coliseum.
1.3. You go to your closer. Kai Crutchfield does a great job contesting. And Louisville comes up short. Back-to-back ACC championships for NC State. A devastating loss for Dana Evans and crew. However, they're going to be a tough out in the NCAA tournament, no matter what their seed is.